All right, day number 2. She's still floating. Time to get to work. Well, first up, I want to get some gas in the boat because the boat is listing a little bit because the port tank is pretty much empty because we siphoned all the gas out of it after Hurricane Ian for our generators. So got a few cans of gas, and thankfully today was the last day for the tax holiday on gas in Florida. Thank you, Governor Ron DeSantis. Let's check the bilge. See if we took any amount of water from last night. That shaft looks dry. Seems to be a little bit of water underneath that dripless shaft seal. Nothing in the middle of the bilge. This rudder has been dripping slowly. I don't know if it's still dripping, but it's really not accumulating much water. That always had a little bit of water around the shaft. May just have to tighten up the packing nut or replace the packing, but that's going to all get checked out when we come out of the water eventually. The other one looks good. All right, let's see. I didn't get it on, I don't think I got it on video yesterday, but when we tried to start the generator, it was hydrolocked, so some water did get through the exhaust hose when the boat was like on a 45-degree angle. Water came from the muffler back there and up through the hose with that blue line on it and into the generator. So I pulled the spark plugs on the generator, and sure enough, there was some water in the cylinders. Cranked that out, dried out the cylinders, sprayed them with fogging oil, and got new plugs. Changed the oil in the generator to make sure there's no water in the oil. Put new oil in and gave it a crank, and after I don't know, maybe 30 seconds of cranking it, it fired right up, and it ran for a good half an hour, supporting the air conditioners and the other systems on the boat. So it's important. If you do get water in the cylinder, for whatever reason, it could happen. You want to get those plugs out and spray those cylinders and get that all done right away before any type of rust sets in. So we caught that before any major damage. So we'll keep an eye on that, and we'll just check the oil to make sure we don't have any more water in it. Other than that, the motors ran good. We'll check those oils too. We're going to change all the filters, change the oil. It was due for it anyway after our trip from down in New York. So we'll just go through all the systems really good and spray stuff down with a nice anti-rust or rust inhibitor, and get it ready for the water again. All right, next we want to put up canvas top. It's going to get hot today. Want to protect the boat from rain. Right, so I went to put up my rear plastic for the back of the boat. This is the one that wraps around up here, and we can't put it up because I noticed the zipper piece that slides into there that you zipper that plastic to is gone. So that blew away in the storm, so we can't put up any plastic back here. And it's a mess, but it looks like a good time to clean the anchor locker out. Much nicer, and no more mold on the door. A little bit of bleach, looking good. Got to straighten that anchor guide though. Must have hit something. All right, we got the bridge cockpit all airing out. All the storage compartments underneath the seats, we got them emptied and air drying. During the storm, we had no top on here, obviously, so the wind and rain got in here, whipped up the cushions. We actually lost this back cushion. I found it a couple blocks away in a trash heap. So water got in all the compartments. Even some of the cup holders around the boat blew out. Give you an idea of how much wind. Got one there too. So water was able to get into all sorts of crevices on the boat. I pulled out the refrigerator and found in here there was standing water that wasn't draining. So what we also found were a lot of scuppers were clogged with debris from the storm. Leaves, twigs, dirt, whatever was blowing around, clogged scuppers everywhere. So this was one scupper that was clogged. It's right underneath the bridge refrigerator or freezer on some of these Meridian 341s. And water was collecting in there. You can see it's a little dirty, muddy. I'm going to clean that out with some bleach. Another scupper, which I believe this is all like design flaws on the Meridian, which I'm going to get into in a little bit. This little scupper here, this drains out any water that may get between the floor of the bridge and the ceiling of the cockpit. There's a cavity in there. The refrigerator's behind that, so this scupper also got clogged. And this cavity here filled with water. It's just like a fiberglass trim piece, but the water overflowing from that area behind the fridge went into this. And I actually just stuck my finger, my pinky in there, and was able to grab all sorts of bits of wood and leaves and all, and then water started pouring out of that. So I'm still going around the boat and looking for areas where water is pooling. Another area I found that had water. If you guys follow me on YouTube and the videos that I do with the maintenance down in the mid cabin, you may have seen when I replaced this mid cabin floor a couple years ago when I bought the boat. This floor seemed a little spongy. I cut it up and found the wood was rotted from water damage right underneath this. So underneath this floor, the hull is only a couple inches below it. So it's not deep enough. There's no bilge pump there, but any water that collects in this low point in the bilge is supposed to drain to a bilge pump that's underneath that seat there. However, there is not enough of a slope for the water in this section here to actually run to that bilge pump. The water needs to get too high up, and then you have standing water in there. And I discovered that by opening up the hatch right here for the shower sump, and there was water pooling in here, and it wasn't deep enough to turn on the bilge that's all the way in the back by that seat. So I shop vac all the water out of here. So obviously this is a design flaw with the Meridian. You don't typically get water in this area of the bilge. It doesn't typically collect water here, but with the storm and the angle that we were on, the rainwater was not able to drain through the regular scuppers around the boat because we were on like a 45-degree angle. So everything pulled over to the side, didn't go run out of the boat. So water got into spots on this boat that it typically would not under normal circumstances. So those with the Meridian, make sure you check all these different areas for water pooling during the storm, and check all those scuppers. Make sure that they are clear and you're not backing up water inside your boat. That's my tip of the day. Pressure wash the entire non-skid deck in the boat, and this guy works wonders. Little package, 1600 PSI pressure washer. Thing works great, nice and compact. Not too powerful, but it really does a great job on the non-skid. So let's check it out. She's cleaning up really good. We have our new windshield screen from Boatswain Locker. You need to put your own snaps in it. There's our fancy new sunscreen. Just installed. Looking pretty good. Gonna need this in Florida. Another item I'm working on here. This is in the cockpit on the back of the boat. The light is not functional. The wire broke off of it from the wind, but I got a couple replacement lights, 12 volt LED lights that I'm gonna pop in there. And I'm just starting to wire them up now. I'm just testing them, so I'm gonna replace both of those. Nice LEDs. All right, we got our new lights all wired up. Nice. All right, next project.